The St. Louis Chess Club, once the home of a WWE-style showdown between Hikaru Nakamura and Eric Hansen, but now the scene of a more sedentary event, the 2024 US Chess Championship, and the home of the most brutal chess attack of the tournament so far. Round 3, with the white pieces, we've got the one and only, the incredible, the indelible, the indefatigable, the intercontinental, interstellar Hans Niemann. What a player, playing against, with the black pieces, Mr. Snoozefest Leinier Dominguez. Why do I say it? Well, Hikaru made us aware that Leinier has made 48 draws in a row in the last US Championship years. That is incredibly boring, on the levels of Anish, Giri and Wesley. So, what a guy. This is why we love classical chess. Now we get e4 on the board here from Hans Niemann. Round 3, let's go. e5 played, obviously the absolute most boring response, and now we get these knights developing into the game. Gucci Reza Piano from Hans Niemann. Now we see the copycat move. Not sure why I highlighted it. Love drawing paint on the board. I'm a massive epic loser. And now we see castles, the second pony developing. More copycat chess here. Give us some knight c3 and castles for some real epic dullness. No, c3. May we? We're looking for a big white centre here as white. Can Hans erect it? Now we see castles, rook e1. And if you want to look really smart, push a rook's pawn, freak out your opponents there, they'll think you're alpha zero. Or do this, give the king some Lufthansa with those little pincer movements at the side of the board. Very sneaky. Knight b to d2 played, and now bishop e6. Take me, I dare you. Saddle me with those lovely double E's in the centre, extra support going on, plus you open up the f-file. Hans says no, plays bishop b5 here, keeping the tension. It's like a day out at the beach with Magnus Carlsen. This is them, 2022, just before the Sinkfield Cup. Things got so tense that Magnus even destroyed Hans's sandcastle that he'd spent hours building. Incredible scenes. Now we see bishop b6 from Leinier. The knight hits c4 here, attacking that one. It comes back to c5, and Leinier is champing at the bit for Hans to go knight d2, bishop b6, play the threefold repetition. No need for a post-mortem, only move 11. Everyone down the pub. Lovely pint of bitter. Don't tell the missus the game finished early. But no such luck. Bishop a4, and Hans is like, let's play ball. He's bringing the bishop back around. Now we see a stunning move in this structure here. Bishop takes on c4. Is Leinier really a super grandmaster or a very naughty boy? Makes you want to frown, giving up the bishop pair and giving Hans Niemann an extra c-pawn. That's extra energy deep in the game. Why would he do it? Well, he's ruined the structure. No more d4 on the way. And okay, top move there of the stock barnacle, right? So he's obviously done his homework. Now he plays knight to h5, going on an epic side quest, but the quest stands upon a knife's edge. Stray but a little and it will fail. And it's what we now see after Hans picks up Gary the g-pawn and smashes him down the board with gusto. Now surely you play knight f4 here. I reckon I'd be going for that all day. It's not good, mind you, wasn't the correct move, but it looks lovely. You know, g5 on the way, maybe queen f6, knight e5, but white can do this, ruin the fun. These kind of things, and say you go f6 and this and this and this. Well, white's actually got all the pawn breaks. Maybe one day c5 or e5 or rook h1, whoops, and this one, and white's having fun basically. So wasn't the way to go. Knight f6 played, meekly retreating backwards faster than my hairline, and it allows Niemann to go pawn to g5 here. But is this a case of premature attaculation? It's a common problem at the elite level of chess, affects many of the top players. Have a listen to this.
And I was hoping that he would go for
Say it.
a premature attack in the game. I think it was just a boring draw.
Right now,
Apparently believes he prematurely attacked me, but then
I mean, white has a... What? um...
Well, we're gonna find out, because captures was played, the bishop takes back, and this is the best defensive maneuver, apparently, according to the ninja Silicon Overlord, but not played. We get queen c8, and it's really nice calculation, because you're allowing white to shatter these pawns, but the idea is don't take back, don't win back your piece, but take here. And there's this slow motion, if you take save the bishop, attack from black to bring the rook up into the attack. Something like this, right? This is a sample line if you play very obligingly, but the point is you give the piece, lift the rook, and it gives counterplay. Black should even be better, or at least drawing lines. And obviously Leinier wants a draw. So Hans doesn't take, goes king h2, covers the pawn there, and now leaves f2 hanging. Why wasn't it captured? Well, the theme remains the same. You let white develop the attack with tempo. This kind of thing, uh-oh spaghetti-o, as Hikari would say. So we come back here. Instead, we see knight h7, given the question mark, queen e6 better apparently. Real subtle stuff. And we don't see the bishop retreat. We talked about the power of the bishops, but what about the power of the initiative? Hans simply brings a rook here, defends the bishop. Again, if takes, rook g2, you're helping white develop an initiative, and that's why we don't see takes, bringing the rook up the board. So instead, now queen e6 looks to defend the king. Rook g2 played, this knight starts rotating into the defence, bishop back to d2, simply clearing the g file, opening the eyes of the cannon, and knight g6 now blocks the way. f5, by far the most active move here, but Leinier not looking to be active, as we've established. Sorry Leinier, being really mean. Far better player than me, of course. Knight g6 now played, heading for f4 potentially, as well as blocking the g file, and after queen e2, preparing to stack the rooks. Again, really feels like knight f4 should be played, not only because it's the top move of stock guppy, but it gives counterplay, right? Even if it's not best. You feel like Ali Reza's just playing that in a heartbeat to give some complications, some dark squared grip. Okay, who knows what can happen? At least you've got some pawn defense. But not played, we get queen f6, looking for the same idea, but now rook g4, full on shuts that one down. Pawn to c ships played, rook ag1, stacking those two towers. Tolkien very proud, king h8, because obviously bro, and now rook c2. Classic move in the Spanish game, or Roy Lopez, named after J-Lo's uncle, by the way. Very few people know that. And now if you go d5 here, well, you're taken with the e-pawn, and look at these monstrous bishops opening into the game. Is so tough. So bishop b6 waits, rook 1 g2, Hans happy to oblige with a similar waiting game. And now after bishop d8, this is nice. You can simply run the h-pawn, but Hans goes for something way more beautiful, almost as beautiful as this painting sent in to me by Jill McGee from down under in the land of Oz. Thanks a lot for sending it in. Look at that, what a masterpiece, painted herself, love it. Now how do you follow up here? Well, the move here that Hans plays is this pawn c5. Why does he do it? Well, if d5, again, we open this bishop. This is the point. But what about captures, which Leinier plays? I haven't got a clue what white does here, but fear not. Hikaru already recapped, far better than me, and he showed that you're now opened another diagonal. But okay, now we see h4 played, looking to get at the monarch. Rook g8, a really interesting defense. I was clicking down there. But then knight g5 can come, f4 ideas on the way, still a massive attack for white. I mean, visually, look at every piece just playing in it. Rookies in the corner, disgusting. But c4 was played by Leinier, trying to distract the queen. But Hans having none of it, plows down the board with the h-pawn, knocks back the knight and crashes through on g7. Miserable. If you give the queen for the 2 rooks, then these are the kind of attacking ideas. Queen streaming in, plus the bishops, pawn in the attack, this one on the way, imagine this one opening up. We won't show all the million lines, it's just lost, right? That one's in Siberia. So we come back here. Instead, we see this one to challenge the file. You can take off that rook. You can even give an exchange to carry on the attack. Many good moves, but instead we see Hans retreating that one. b5, desperate kind of counterplay, plus covers the pawn, but now knight g5. Simple attacking chess. Remove those defenders. And if you try and do nothing, then rook f3 is on the way, and the knight and rook converge on f7. So takes was played. The bishop recaptures. Queen e6, and now queen f3. Sliding more pieces into that danger zone. King h7 best, anticipating the bishop check, but not played. We get a losing move on the spot. Second best was giving up an exchange, but knight c8 played. That is disgusting. Making a back rank seahorse on move 33. Absolutely shameful. And what's the winning move here? Well done if you can find the absolute best one. There's many good ones, but it's bishop f6 check. And it's simple tactics. I'm sure many of you saw this. You just open up the power of those blasting cannons. 10 points barreling down the g file, and pick your poison here. Or pick your win, I should maybe say. So queen g3 can be played. Really nice idea that you can actually sack a rook and land the queen back here, that kind of thing. And if the knight ever moves, you can swap off and still bring down the queen. And you can also play another really nice attacking idea, which Hans does. He goes rook e8. What a swashbuckling finish. Double exclam brilliancy, because if captures, you don't actually take straight away. You play the collinear move, queen f5 check. This is better. The king can't step to the g file, of course, so it has to go to one dark square. Then you take with check. Very lovely jubbly, mate the king. Same problems if you stepped up the board. This the final position. What a bone cruncher from Hans Niemann. 36 moves there. The tournament now starts hotting up. Hope you enjoyed. Smash subscribe if you did, and check out the video on the screen for another epic game of chess. Cheers.